Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi everyone. Good evening.
Good
Good evening.
evening, everyone. Welcome back to the TGIF Men's Circle live talk show. So today we are very privileged to have back all the brothers here, Brother
Mm,
Chong, Brother YK, and
yes.
to all the audience out there. Thank you very much for tuning in, right,
Mm,
to today's Men's Circle live
mm,
talk. Okay, before we start, I just want to, since we have started this Men's Circle group, whether it's a live talk or the Men's Circle support group, about 6 months ago.
mm,
I just want to talk about a little bit about our men's circle support group. We started this men's circle support group, on the basis that we want to help more men out there. Right?
mm,
We want to provide a safe space, for men to gather and also to share the issues or problems that they have been facing without being judged. It is difficult, from our own experience, it is difficult to really find a space where we can talk freely about what is bothering us. There's a lot of fear factor. There's a lot of a feeling of being judged around going on in the society. So with this men's circle support group, we are providing this safe space for men to share out, whatever issue they are facing.
mm,
And then ultimately we want to create and to generate interest among men that there is a new way, there is a new methods to help them to overcome their problems, especially their emotion or feeling related matters. We use methods like creative visualization, meditation, and also with mindfulness methods to help them. That's why we are a little bit different from all the men's circle group outside. Not we not only provide positive support, but we also provide emotional support to them, right? And I think we have been doing this for the past 6 months. We have our support group, physical support group held in the Golden Space on every Thursday, on once a month, and every on Thursday once a month. And we have all kinds of men joining us, coming around and sharing their issues. We even have people like with backgrounds like doctors, lawyers, professional engineers, IT, sales, a lot of people, from different background coming together. Yeah, may Brother Chong, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You have anything
And
to say about that?
yes, and we've had very interesting sessions. Where everybody really like chipped in and shared their hearts out. And at times, you can even get a really a touchy feeling. And we are very happy with what's been happening, especially with men, that they are now speaking out and really expressing themselves, even among strangers, which is actually an easier thing to do than to
Yes.
sometimes talk with people, about
Mhm.
some of the things that we've been keeping inside, which
All right.
we needed to let out, or to
Mm.
speak to somebody with. So no, so these are very healthy. These are very healthy. 2 hours, right? We have it for
Yes,
two
two
hours. Yeah?
hours.
It's a very healthy 2 hours for us to actually share our experiences as well as our issues, with other men.
mm.
Mm.
And this being a men's circle group, obviously, I know no, there are no women, or girls around,
Mm.
which makes the sharing, even more shall I say,
Impactful, right?
more
More
impactful,
honest,
more open.
more
Yeah, that's right.
honest, more impactful,
That's right.
and it was a very good gathering. We have
Mm.
all, a lot of them really open up. We have even men's, tearing up, crying when they
Yeah.
express some of the issue that's been bothering them. Right? I'm sure, brother YK, you also see you see firsthand, some of them how they deal with it, and what is the progress that they have been gone through, right?
All right, you're right. So what I saw there, the most precious one is not only men's sharing out the problems, uh, daily problems, but to show their emotion out, to express
Mm,
their emotion out.
mm,
And then from there, we also see some example from week to week. There's some improvement when they start to
mhm.
deal with their emotion. The, the situation is like they are having some solution with them already, at least. Yes.
Mm. That
No,
is
no, no.
why there is
Yeah. Sorry.
correct.
Yeah.
Come again. So that is
No,
why
and the great thing is,
we always
yeah,
correct.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll go ahead.
Rajong,
Yeah,
Rajong.
the great thing is that you find that actually all of us have the same kind of issues.
Right.
Mm,
You know, I
Yeah.
would say that it's more than 50% of the issues are similar.
mm,
Yes, and because they don't have any space or they don't have any avenue to express out their issues, and they thought this is a very and they thought they are the only one facing the problem. But when we all sit together, but you know what, one person is sharing the same thing, the other also felt it. I also have this problem, and then we
mm,
find that this is like a universal man issue. It's not something that
mm,
very different, right? It is something that is very common among men.
yep, yep,
Right, that's why we really hope that more men can join us, right?
mm,
Even if you know anybody, just ask them to come to the men's circle support group, and try it out and see what we have been practicing, what we have been doing in the men's circle, right? And even like this kind of today's live show is more about educating the men. We will be talking some of the issue or some of the topic that men are facing. It is like
mm,
a preview of what is going to happen in the men's circle support group. That's why today, our topic is about embracing relationship conflict.
mm,
uh, don't First of all, we need to explain that the conflict is not like the big war. It's more like in a relationship there's always tend to be conflict, right? Tends to have argument. It tends to have misunderstanding,
mm,
right? Sometimes you fight over it. So, sometimes you don't talk about it, because of those misunderstanding. This is what conflict is all about in this topic. And sad to say, we men are very bad in when we men are very bad in handling conflicts.
yep,
I think the most common way that men handle conflicts or argument is that we try to avoid as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
All
yep,
right, and and then sometimes we just want to settle the issue or the problem as soon as possible, even without realizing what is the underlying issue that is bothering both of us. We just want
mm,
to quickly get out, solve the issue, and get out of it and move on, right? But when we don't solve the underlying issue, right, the problem will tends to come back again and again, and we will. That's why sometimes you see partners or in a relationship they fight over the same thing over and over again, right? So
okay.
yeah, you guys agree with me?
Yeah, 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 brother. Totally agree, and then I resonate it very much.
Mm,
And
mm.
while we are talking about this embracing relationship conflict, to the crowd who are watching it live at the Paradigm Mall, do check out the Body Mind Soul magazine Facebook page and YouTube channel as well. Yeah. So let's continue. Yep.
Yeah. So, Brother
Uh,
Chong, what do you think about how is that the common way that how men handle conflicts?
Yeah, we rather avoid. I mean,
Yeah.
I well, I don't try not to fight with my wife. That's for sure. And or to fight with any lady, or
Mm.
because we can never win. Yeah, and
you're always left.
well, that's a cliche, right? Sorry,
Mm.
just a cliche. Just making a bit of a
Mm.
joke there if I can.
Mm. But
Uh,
I always
and
think that conflicts or when you argue over something, that is only the very surface matter, surface issue. There's always an underlying issue why the argument start or originated.
Mm,
Whether it's most of the time is to do with emotion issue or feeling issue, right?
yep.
But we men tend to look at the more physical surface level.
Mm,
We tend to look at the problem itself.
mm,
Right, just give an example. I just give an example. For example, a man who is always working, who works most of the time,
mm,
who spend a lot of their time working in the office,
mm,
right? Maybe he had an argument with the wife. Maybe the wife is complaining. The wife is complaining why you work so much.
mm,
Why you don't come home and take care of the family? Why you don't come home and spend more time with me? Maybe the man will say, yes, I'm working because we need to find money. We need money, right? We need money to survive. We need money to sustain our lifestyle. But what is the underlying issue here? It's not about overworking. Maybe the man is trying to avoid something by working. He's
all
trying
right.
to avoid, family commitments. He's trying to avoid the relationship commitment, or
Mm,
he's trying to avoid his feeling,
mm,
right? Or maybe there are certain men who is so good in their work, they feel they feel, when they work, they feel they are appreciated. They excel in their work. So, but when they come home, They don't have that kind of passion. That's why they tend to overwork.
Okay.
What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I think I can agree with what you
Okay.
say. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Trying to avoid. Actually, for my experience myself, was once you like what you say just now. I'm trying to avoid lah, and I'm so creative in avoiding.
Okay.
One way to avoid, or
How
it
do you
shows
avoid? Maybe you can share how you avoid since you're
you
so
can
creative.
you can pura. You find something to do, then you avoid the
Yeah.
conversation. You stop it, or you
Yes.
change the
Yes. Yeah.
topic,
Yeah.
or
Or you just
maybe
say work. Or you just say work come. Oh, now my boss called me. Also, I need to attend to this first, right? Or client call you. You just need to attend to this
yeah.
first. Then you leave
Uh,
all the family commitment aside
mm.
first, right?
It can be
Okay.
so creative to that depending on the situation at that moment. Or sometimes we throw tantrum,
Okay.
wishing to uh, end the conversation as soon as possible is one of
Right.
the way to avoid the conflict as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
How about
That's
you,
my
brother John? What is your
I
thought on
would
this?
I would suppose that a lot of men would take our job as a responsibility. It's like we being the main breadwinner as in social expectations.
Okay.
The primary breadwinner of the family. So we take it upon ourselves as the responsibility of working and bringing in the money, right?
Mm.
And no, I used to think like that. That if that prioritizes to me over every anything else, because to
That
me
is
I'm
more
a
like,
man.
yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
that is more like responsibility. You
yeah,
you felt the
yeah,
responsibility.
yeah.
Yeah, the
So
overburden.
even if
Yeah.
even my partner wants my time, I would say
Mm-hmm.
that I would deprioritize that.
Right.
It used
Right.
to be like
Right.
that for me. It used to be like that for
Mm-hmm.
me until, of course, I learned to appreciate, and discover the importance of you know relationships actually.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
what are we working for? Really, what are we working for? But for you know our family,
Mm.
which is a relationship,
Right. Right. Right.
right?
Right. Correct.
And yeah, so something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have some comments here. Maybe we can just pull out some of the comments that the audience have been sharing with us. Um, Al Chan said, "True, repetitive mistakes will cause constant nagging." Yeah, when you don't deal with the underlying issue
mm,
of the
Uh,
problem,
mm,
because men, as we mentioned earlier, men, we want to settle as soon as possible. We want to solve that issue at hand as soon as possible. We don't look at the problem behind it. We don't look at the real issue behind it.
mm.
Huh? That is why the problem keep on repeating and repeating and repeating. Yeah. He also said, yeah, watch football, badminton, live match, creative conflict avoidance. Another way of men, how men are creative.
Yeah.
so really, now really, we need to like you know avoid this avoidance of
Yes.
avoid this conflict avoidance,
Right.
Uh,
Right.
in the sense
Embracing.
that, yeah, because I think that's one of our main, shall I say, benefits tonight, right? Is to
Mhm.
Right.
discover,
Mm, mm, mm.
uh, right, using conflict as a growth
Embracing
process.
conf. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
to enhance understanding of ourselves and our partner.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, which is one point which is important. Maybe Michael or Vicky would like to
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
about that.
Because yes. Maybe I can add on a little bit on this one because
Yeah.
you see when actually for me as I embark on this journey of I find that actually conflict is a growth process.
Mhm.
you know we have been wrong, men has been wrong, been trying to avoid it because of whatever feeling they are afraid to face. But if you look at it, if you really embrace conflict is like an opportunity for us to grow.
Mm.
Opportunity to grow in the sense that when we really face conflict, when we really look into the problem, what we are facing, we actually learn to understand ourselves better. We also learn to understand our partner better. So during this process of conflict, you solve most of the thing together, and you understand the relationship better with your partner. that is another growth in your relationship.
But how does it actually work now? Because like in the past now, I was very puzzled by that. Like you're in the middle of
Mm,
an argument,
mhm, mhm,
and then you're all messed up in the head, with all the
mm,
well, not
mm,
only the head,
mm,
but your whole body, with all the emotions, and
mm,
the
mm.
anger, the confusion, or whatsoever.
Right.
So how can you like think about such things? Think about myself growth, lah, think about her growth,
Yeah.
lah,
Okay.
or his
Okay.
growth.
Yeah. Maybe what one of the example. It's a very good example. When you're in the heat of all those drama, all those intensity.
Yeah.
You ask, how can you think that is a group? But as we have learned,
Mm,
in mindfulness, in meditation,
mm,
whenever we face all these things, we need, first of all, we need to focus back, you know, to bring ourselves grounded. We call it grounded, to bring ourselves back to our calmness level,
mm,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Need to maybe through
Mm-hmm.
breathing, a normal breathing process will help us to do that, to bring us back to the level of calmness. When you are calm, then only you can start to focus what is the issue on hand.
mm.
True. True.
Yeah. And for me, conflict, the most important thing in conflict is not about who is winning the who is winning the conflict. It's about both of us coming into an understanding.
Mm,
Both of us coming into an understanding what is the issue on hand.
mm,
Now, it doesn't matter who's winning, who is losing. Most of the time we men, we want to win. And we are
mm.
so afraid of losing that we don't want to embrace conflict. We don't want to embrace, this kind of argument.
And really, in any conflict, in a partnership conflict like this, a personal partnership anyway, like a marriage or
Mm,
even
mm.
dating. No, there are no winners, in any conflict.
Yes, yes,
There are
yes.
only losers.
And I want to say the reality of men is that, reality, because men, we are so ego-minded, when we work, for example, let's say it's a sole breadwinner in the house. He's working and he thought that because he is, he's earning all the money, he's supporting the family, and his thinking or his opinion should be all taken, should be
Mhm.
all, should be prioritized.
Mm.
But that is not the way, right?
Yeah. Yeah, brother, I can agree with you. So regarding this conflict, I also
Mm,
having a similar point of view as what you and brother Chong shared. To me, conflict is actually a process of understanding each other.
right.
You see, conflict happen when there's two person argue or maybe
Mm,
discuss about something. So
mm,
these two person normally they come from different background, how they grow
right.
up, how they brought
Hmm.
up,
Correct.
even though maybe mother and daughter, mother was brought up or in a very different environment with the daughter. So the way they see things could be different. That's why
Right.
where the conflict or argument start. But it is just a process of understanding each other. The
Right.
daughter
Right.
need to understand the mother. That's why I don't understand why you're doing so. But then the emotion come. So this is
Right.
the thing that mess up the whole thing when both
Mm-mm.
emotions go together. But
Actually, I suppose I know, YK, to add a bit to what you said. No,
yeah,
I agree with that in the sense of any relationship actually is a trial and error.
Right.
And in most relationships, like friendships, or even superficial friendships,
mm-hmm,
we don't really care, right? Because that
Mm-mm.
a relationship may not be important to us. So that even if
Yeah.
we tolerate any mistake,
Mm.
any errors on
Mistakes.
the other person's part,
Right. Right.
right? And we tolerate it. But in a relationship as personal, as important as as a marriage, or or even family, where parents or siblings or children, now that becomes more pronounced. You
Mm.
know, those the problems,
Yeah.
the problems, come out more. Don't they magnify, and
Mm.
and what happens is we cannot tolerate it. But
mm,
actually,
Right.
what is happening is, coming back to this growth process in relationships,
mm,
in conflicts anyway, conflicts in
Right.
relationships, the growth process of that is, actually, any relationship is a trial and error. We find out more things
Correct.
about each other,
mm,
and we as you all say, we understand ourselves better, and we understand the other party better, and from that we come to some
Mm.
reconciliation, and there
Right.
has to
Right.
be
Right.
some give and take. There has to be some give and
Mm.
take in any partnership. We cannot have it all, really, which is
Mm.
actually a very Asian way of dealing with things,
Mm.
the yin and yang
Mm.
thing. And so that's very, So there's a very good, something that very important point that you brought up actually, brought by K,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and that's what's happening.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes most of and sometimes we men, we tend to we tend to over focus on who started the conflict, why the conflict started, and what makes the conflict in the beginning. But as we practice, mindfulness, we practice living in the present moment, right? We know that things that already happened has already passed,
Mm.
right?
Yep.
There's no way to turn back the clock. There's no way to bring back the issue. What we need to focus is the issue on hand, how to solve it. When we too over concerned on why it happened in the first place, we lose the focus on trying to solve it. We always then the blame part will come. The blame part, we always blame, we always blame, why you make this happen, why this one have to happen, they always create a separation,
Mm.
which I think this is not right.
Mm.
As we are living in this uh as we want to improve our relationship, we should let go of that thought and just move forward to solve the issue on hand,
I see.
deal with the emotion that we are facing.
Yeah. So the first tip, brother, is that
Yes,
you need to stop blaming first.
right.
Stop blaming and we accept the situation where it is a process of understanding.
Yeah,
Means,
yeah. It's more like accepting the issue, accepting yeah. Stop blaming and accept the situation. The conflict has already started.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's go
Then
back to the point where the embracing relationship conflict,
yes, because
all
you then yes, in that context, you really face it.
mm,
Yeah, you stop the blame game anymore. You face the issue on hand. Put and also as Brother John just now mentioned, another important issue is we need to calm ourselves down. We need to bring our emotion level,
mm,
calm our emotion level, because
mm,
when we are at the height of ourselves, the intensity, anger moment, we have to calm ourselves, and that we can teach, we can practice through meditation, breathing process, and all those things can help us to really focus back
Yeah.
what is important, bring our emotion back, right?
And this is why our men's circle, we emphasize on mindfulness and
Yes,
meditation or
yes, yeah.
meditative process
Mm.
practices and creative visualization. Actually,
Mm,
to
mm,
actually rewire some of the things that that we've been conditioned
mm.
to or conditioned
Yeah,
with, and
yeah.
programmed. Because a
And
lot of
also,
it, yeah. Sorry,
go ahead,
yeah.
go
No,
ahead,
no,
go
nothing,
ahead.
nothing. You care.
And also another important tips I want to share is also, to also acknowledge, there's a good point
mm,
or there's a bad point in the relation, in the conflicts.
mm,
And sometimes when we have an open minded, there is actually a different, we can see a different perspective, a different solution.
mm.
Just we need to acknowledge the valid point or the good point in the conflicts, sometimes which we are not aware.
Yep.
Not because just because that point, the problem solver is not from our side, we
Mm.
tend to avoid it. But sometimes our partner will give us a valid point on how to solve it. We also need to acknowledge that. We need to accept that as well.
Yep. You're
That's why
right.
it's it is important in this part about us men, being less emotional. I think that's very important. That we should
Mm-hmm.
we should take advantage of this so-called expectation or perception of men being less emotional. Because with that less emotional, that's when we need to like get down, and uh,
Mm-hmm.
and look at things more objectively. Look at both the positive and negative,
Mm,
and not manage the situation so emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
mm,
uh, but we must not at the same time neglect or ignore the emotional aspect of it, of any conflict or any argument,
Correct. Correct.
because that's very important for the other. It could be very important for the other,
Mm-hmm.
our partner.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
No,
Yeah,
and of
true,
course,
true.
yeah. In this case, I'm talking about male female partnership, or even any same partnership also it's it's the same thing, because there's always like once
mm,
one partner which who is more of the more emotional than the other, relatively speaking.
Mm. Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
emotions
true.
are important, no, and we promote emotions in one circle. No, emotions are important. Our emotions are important because we are
Mm.
human.
Yeah. So
There
adding
we
point, uh,
okay. Go
oh,
ahead. Go
so
ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, okay. So adding point to this, by acknowledging both positive and negative point about someone, I think there's another point which is very valid for us to practice is respect. If we
Respect.
really
Okay.
need to listen to someone by smoothing the conflict, we really need to respect and listen to the opposite one. I mean the others. What is they trying to tell?
Yes.
What are they trying to tell in that story?
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
And
other
that
than
yeah
that,
yeah and I have to add on is that the problem is that men don't listen. Yeah, the problem is men don't listen most of the time.
uh, yeah,
And that is where the conflicts become even worse. The argument turn very bad in that
mm,
sense. So
mm,
so from now onwards, we men have to listen. We men
yeah.
have to
Listen,
really listen to what our partners is trying to say.
yeah. Listen to others
And
and also listen
yeah,
to ourselves also,
yeah,
brother.
listen and understand what she's trying to say.
Yeah. Mm.
That is very important. Most of the time, we listen here, we go out here, right? So what I'm trying to say, we should listen and understand what they are trying to say.
Mm.
If you are not
Right.
sure, ask.
Mm.
If you don't understand what she's trying to say, ask, clarify, don't
Asking.
assume. All right. Okay, we have one comment here. We got another comment here. Maybe we can just pull out the comment from the. Okay. Wow. Seeing you all at Paradigm Mall at Glowing Wellness Stage. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity, to share this stage in the Paradigm Mall Glowing Wellness. All right. We really appreciate it.
Mm.
That is why, the reality is that, if there is no conflict, there's no growth.
Oh, there's
And
one
that's
more
the end of
comment
the
on there.
relationship.
Oh,
Okay. Okay, read the comment, YK.
oi, this is listen and then remember. There's a exclamation mark. Oh,
Listen and
so
remember.
important.
Yes. Yeah. Very, very important. Listen and remember. We listen, but we don't remember. That is the issue that men face.
Mm.
Then sometimes the woman will be saying, why I've been talking this one for a long time, right? But we keep on repeating this, explaining to you. but
Mm.
but it's all part.
We communicate differently. We communicate
Yeah,
differently.
yeah. But it's all
That
part
the
of a
different
growth.
the two
Yeah,
genders.
yes. But it's
And
part of the growth process, lah. Yes, brother YK, brother Chong.
oh, and that's what makes it interesting, actually. Because if it's the same, they actually is very boring, right? I mean, I find it that way anyway.
Okay.
I mean, it adds the spice to life, like conflict.
Yeah.
It's just that we don't take it so seriously until we we want to blow up and like a nuclear bomb. Not to the extent,
Yes.
but
Yes. Yes. Yes.
actually, conflict is healthy. If we
Healthy. Correct. I
take it,
agree.
in a very you know calm and mindful way. If I
Right.
can
Right.
say
That,
it.
that's why I
Yeah,
say before that was, if there is no conflict, there's no growth. Then is the end of the relationship.
Yeah.
So conflict, as you said, spice up the relationship,
yeah,
helps you to understand your partner even better, help you to sometimes understand yourself even better without us knowing it.
yeah. And this is where the emotions come in, because actually
Right.
conflicts are okay except for the emotions. Like I was saying
Mm.
just now, when we're in an argument or quarrel, I would say, the more intense one is quarrel, right?
Mm.
We are confused, we are angry, and it really puts a different lens to everything that we see. Suddenly, the person that we love has
Mm.
suddenly turned into a monster, and we ourselves have turned into a monster.
Okay.
And that's the difference, because it's the emotions, these ugly emotions that actually puts a different lens to the whole situation.
Mm.
you
Mm.
know and if we can only be mindful and watch how these emotions arise and erupt, then we can save the day, or we
Correct.
have that extra time, that moment of
Mhm.
awareness, that,
Awareness, yes, correct.
yeah, the space of awareness to notice the ugliness of it, and stop
Hmm.
ourselves. Because at the end of the day, it does take two to tango. We can't have
Right,
a dance
correct.
without the other.
Mm. Mm.
Just as you can't make love without a partner, no, you can't fight without a
Yeah.
partner as well. And no, fighting and making love is actually the most intense and most present moment kind of human activity.
Okay. Okay. But
Fighting,
that is,
fighting,
yeah.
fighting, and making
But
love.
making love is another day's topic, lah. We're
Indeed.
coming back. Bring back the focus back to the
Yeah,
conflict,
yeah. No,
to the
I
embracing
was,
conflict
I
in
was
the
distracted for a
relationship.
while
Yeah,
there.
there
Yeah,
is.
sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, there is a comment here. Stubbornness makes it hard for men not to hate on clash with the other half. What do you think, YK?
Stubbornness
Stubbornness.
make it hard for men not to hate on clash with the other half. I think this is
Mm,
very valid lah, with the ego
yes.
combined together with the
Right.
stubbornness.
Right.
You never want
Yeah.
to how to say to show your softness or weakness to the other
Mm.
half. So you make it so harsh during the conversation and the conflict. So yeah, this is the part that when we aware we can change this. Yeah.
Correct.
Uh,
When we
yeah.
are aware, when
Uh,
we are aware at that present moment during the conflict time, now if we can bring the awareness back to our feet, to our emotion during the conflict time, as what Brother Chong said, it can really save the day. You can save the day, you can save the day, I'm sure the partner will also be very happy that, we understand what they're going through, how the issue arises, and then how we are trying to solve it in a more constructive and compassionate way. That will
Yeah.
really help to improve the relationship to another level. So that's why
Cons-
don't be afraid to embrace conflict. Don't be afraid. Don't avoid it anymore. For all the men out there, don't avoid conflict. Don't try to give a lot of excuse by not looking, by not facing the issue on hand. You know.
Constructive and compassionate. I love that. I like
Yes.
that. Yeah. It's a
Mm-hmm.
very nice way of putting it. It's a great way of putting it.
Mm.
We at the end of it, we are problem solvers. I mean, I
Correct.
mean,
Correct. Correct.
I'm I'm generalizing. Sorry, yeah.
Mm.
Or,
Correct.
it's you know, so perhaps you can all learn. At least I would want to learn, to solve things constructively. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To build the relationship on constructive conflicts. Yeah. Rather than to destroy the relationship, and
Mm.
pull it all down, with destructive conflicts. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
And,
it's more healthy.
yeah. And
And it's
but
more,
other, sorry. Yeah.
yeah. When you talk about constructive, I just want to add on. It's more about for men to really open up their relation, to open up their emotion.
Mm,
What is bothering them? What are they? What issue? How, whether when the problems come, what kind of emotions is bothering them? To really open up and share it out with their partner. That is more constructive than rather you talk on face on how to solve the issue.
Yeah.
What the men are afraid to face.
mm,
If it's anger, it's pain, if it's worried, just let your partner know. Sometimes, like when it comes to financial conflict or financial issue discussion, most of the time, because of the responsibility that the man, the man felt this burden of responsibility. That emotion is more all about worry,
mm,
whether they will be able to support the family. But if they let their partners know how they're feeling deep inside, I'm sure their partner would, appreciate, the partner would try as much as possible to help them by giving them the space to work on,
yeah. Mm.
right?
And you tell it out sincerely and
Right.
truthfully, the other
Mm-hmm.
half or the person who is listening, they can feel it. Yeah. This,
Yes, yes.
this is true.
From yeah, yeah. I need to say this, from my own personal experience. It is like, like me as a guy, as a man. I would not want to share my problems with my wife simply because I feel that I'm a man, I can solve it. You know, I don't want to bother her, I don't want to worry her.
Mm-hmm.
While women I find that she is different. She wants me to share. She wants me to
Okay.
share the problems and to share this problem with her so that we can,
Okay.
you
Work
know,
it out together, right?
work the problem together,
Share the burdens together.
share the burden together. That's right, sharing the burden together. So
Mm.
they no for us, for me, I look at it logically, or I suppose it happens to a lot of men as well, huh? If I may say, if I may presume. And no, we want to solve the problem in a logical way, and we want to solve it ourselves, because we want to burden the other part. But our
Mm,
partner wants us to share because they are coming from an emotional level,
right,
because for
right,
them,
right.
the marriage is a real partnership. It's not a solo
Correct,
game.
correct. Mm,
I feel that way from my experience anyway.
yeah, that is a very touching sharing that Brother Chong is giving us, as part of his experience, which happens, most of the time in a relationship, happen most of the time in a conflict, right? Sometimes we men are blinded by all our ego, all our fear that we refuse to express out our emotions. At the end of the day, it's all about our emotion. It's all about our emotion. What is troubling us. So for all the men out there, from what I hope that you have learned, you have
The
seen
question is
what we
it?
have questioned, right?
Good
Okay.
question.
Men at times go to pubs or drink till late to avoid conflict. What you guys think of this method? We have been
Oh,
talking about this method a lot of time. This is the very common method that men use, right?
universal method.
Universal method, but do you think this method can solve the conflict?
Does
It's
it
more
really
about
stop?
avoiding. Yeah. it,
Mm-mm-mm.
and the answer is no.
Mm.
This answer won't work because most of the time when you go to pub, you are just trying to avoid it. You get drunk, you are just avoiding the issue, and this is not a very healthy way to face it. Rather than going to pub, it is better for you to face it.
Mm.
Face it. Face the problem on hand. Discuss your emotion as what we have given some of the tips. Discuss with your partner.
Mm.
Listen to what we are going to say. Listen through the conversation. Try to find a common ground or understanding to try to solve it.
Yeah.
That is better way, right? And it's cheaper. You have to go to pub and spend money.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, but when we really look at the root of that problem, or looking at the emotion part, it will be more fulfilling, rather than you go to pub and drink, get drunk and
You're
all
right.
that. You feel the happiness is from inside. You feel relief because of the root of the problem is solved. Is really look into.
Yeah, true.
So
Maybe Brother John want to add on.
No, no, you have said it. You have said it. It's what was running to my mind is about the word avoid. I mean the thing about avoidance. Because in
Mhm.
avoidance, actually, the problem is still there. You can
Right.
drink, we can drink up the whole factory, Guinness factory, or the whole Carlsberg factory, but the problem is still there.
Yes. You
No,
still
it
have to
doesn't.
face it the next day,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. In a
So
very drunk manner, lah, but still have to
yeah, we,
face
we,
it.
we, we we know that is a very common way, a common method men would advise the other men. But if you ask us, in our men's circle group, a lot of this is one of the way that we know that it's been practiced, but we tell them this is not the right way. This is not the correct way. There is a better way to face whatever problem you have, rather than just avoiding it. Most of the time, the problem come from us. We ourselves, we ourselves need to face it. We have to deal with it, and we have to take the right action.
Mm. Yep. Very
Yeah.
good point,
I,
brother. Face ourselves first.
yes.
Not only face the issue. That's the
Mm.
most effective method. Face ourselves first.
So I think we are almost coming to the end of today's live talk, and we appreciate all of you for taking your time off to join us, and also continue to join us. If you know any male friends or any male relative or partners of yours who needs any guidance, feel free to contact any one of us or to contact the Golden Space. And if it's better if they can come to the men's circle, right? And also don't forget that uh, we have some we have a lot of program happening in the Paradigm Mall for the glowing wellness, right? Tomorrow, especially even tomorrow, we have another session, men talk. Topic is relationship conversation happening at 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. I will be there together with my brother Jean. We'll be discussing again further on the man issue. Feel free to come.
In fact,
All right.
Michael will be at bro. Michael will be at the Paradigm Mall over the next few days, and he's our men's circle representative. And he'll be on stage 3 times, I think, right? So he'll be talking a lot about
Man
things from
issue.
the men's
Point of
point of
view.
view. Yeah.
Mm.
So he's speaking, for us, and it'd be great to share the time, with him
Yeah.
and with
I hope to.
rest
Yeah.
of the men. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I hope to see you all at the Paradigm Mall tomorrow. Tomorrow, 1st of October, 2nd of October, and also 3rd of October. All right? Huh?
Mm.
Join myself and my brother Jean for tomorrow's Men Talk at Paradigm Mall tomorrow, 6:30. And also don't forget the Men's Circle Support Group is happening on the 20th of October.
Mm.
All right. Thank you, brother Johnny,
Thank
for your
you,
support.
thank you,
All
Johnny
right.
Lai.
And with this, we end today's session on the Men's Circle Live Talk. We hope to see you all again next month, right? And feel free to contact us if you need any help or any guidance or need somebody to talk to. All right. So with this, we end today's session. So thank you very much, all of
Thank you,
you.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank you. Have a great evening.